Hello students, welcome to Easy Science YouTube channel. So yesterday we discussed about reproduction in organism and this is the second class on reproduction in organisms. So this is the second class. Okay, so let's discuss the second class. So before going to the class, please subscribe to Easy Science YouTube channel and click the bell icon. You will never miss an update from my channel. So let's move to the class. Yesterday we discussed about asexual reproduction and even about sexual reproduction. See, all the sexually reproducing organisms, that is all sexually reproducing organisms, they follow a similar pattern. During sexual reproduction, all the organisms follow a similar pattern. That's why we have divided the events occur during sexual reproduction into three phases. As they are similar in all the sexual reproducing organisms, we have divided them into three phases. So the one is pre-fertilization events, second one is fertilization, and third one is post-fertilization events. See, this is possible. Division is possible because these are same in all the sexually reproducing organisms. So let's move to the first phase, that is pre-fertilization events. See, pre-fertilization event means it includes all the events of sexual reproduction prior to the fusion of the gametes. Fusion of gametes is known as fertilization, right? So before going to fusion, what events takes place, that all comes under pre-fertilization events. So for our convenience or to understand in a better way, this pre-fertilization events are divided into two stages. One is gametogenesis and the second one is gamete transfer. So let's discuss about these two stages in pre-fertilization event. So the first one is gametogenesis. So what do you mean by gametogenesis? Gametogenesis means the process of formation of gametes. Like we have two types of gametes. Generally two types of gametes are formed. They are male and female gametes. Gametes are haploid in nature. That is, only n number of chromosomes are present. N number of chromosomes are present. Right. So let's discuss about the gametes. In some of the organisms, like in algae and fungi, both the gametes, I said we have two types of gametes, male and female gametes. In most of the algae and fungi, both the gametes are similar in their appearance and it's very difficult to find out which is a male gamete and which is a female gamete, right? And such gametes are termed as isogametes, or they are homogametic in nature. Both are similar. It's very difficult to identify which is a male gamete and which is a female gamete. So the examples where these isogametes are present are Altrix, Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra. So isogametes means what? Both the gametes are similar and it's very difficult to identify that which is a female gamete and which is a male gamete. And in most of the sexually reproducing organisms, the gametes are heterogametes. That means we can easily differentiate them as male and female. Like for example, one of the gamete is larger in size, one of the gamete is motile. So such differentiation will be there and you can easily identify them as male and female gametes. Such gametes are known as heterogametes. And example I have given human beings, but most of the sexually reproducing organisms, the gametes are heterogametes. And the male gametes are present in antherozoid, which contains sperms. The female gametes, we called it as egg or ova. So let's discuss about sexuality in organisms. So in gamete formation, the sexuality in organisms is very important, right? You know, we have bisexual flowers and unisexual flowers, right? So what are bisexual flowers and unisexual flowers? If the male and female reproductive structures are present in the same plant, then they are called as bisexual, monoecious, or homothalic. Examples are lily, hibiscus, mango, rose, etc., where the plants contain both male and female reproductive structures. If the male and female reproductive structures are present on the different plants, then they are said to be unisexual, also called as dioecious or heterothalic also. Examples are coconut, papaya, watermelon, maize, etc. So the unisexual male flower is known as staminate, which bears the stamens, and unisexual female flower is known as pistillate, which bears the pistils. So unisexual means what? The male and female gametes are present on the different plants, right? The unisexual flower, which is staminate, is called as, like, it bears the stamens. Unisexual male flower is called as staminate because it bears stamens, and unisexual female flower is called as pistillate because it bears pistils. And that is about the plants. But what about the animals? Is it possible that male and female reproductive organs are present on the same animal? Yes, in lower animals it is there. Not in higher animals, but in lower animals it is there. Animals that possesses both male and female reproductive organs are known as hermaphrodites. Actually, they are isogametes. You cannot identify which is a male gamete and which is a female gamete, and fusion takes place. So the examples are earthworm, tapeworm, and leech. The male gamete formation. See, gametogenesis means formation of gametes. I said we have two types of gametes, right? Male gametes and female gametes. So male gamete formation is known as spermatogenesis. Sperms are formed. And female gamete formation is known as oogenesis, where egg or ovum is formed, right? So generally the gametes are haploid in nature. We already discussed that n number of chromosomes are there. So during gametogenesis what happens is they divide, the cells divide, and chromosome number is reduced to half. Parent body is haploid or diploid. See, irrespective of the parent body, some of the parent bodies are haploid bodies which contains only n number of chromosomes, and most of the parent bodies are diploid in nature, which contains 2n number of chromosomes, diploid and haploid. Whether the parent body is haploid or diploid also, the gametes are haploid in nature. So the haploid bodies are lower organisms like Monera, fungi, algae, and bryophytes. Monera, fungi, algae, and bryophytes. In haploid bodies, during the formation of gametes, meiosis do not takes place because the body is haploid in nature. So the sperms formed also haploid in nature. But fusion of gametes takes place, then the zygote is in diploid condition, right? So the zygote first divides by meiosis, where the chromosome number is reduced to half. Haploid spores are formed, and these spores are grown as individual organisms. So in the case of haploid bodies, meiosis do not takes place during the formation of gametes. It takes place after the zygote formation, like division of the zygote. Generally, zygote divides by mitosis. But in case of haploid organisms, initially the zygote divides by meiosis. So diploid parent bodies, example pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms, and human beings. In diploid bodies, the meiosis occurs during gametogenesis. That is, during the formation of gametes only, meiosis takes place. So in diploid bodies, there are specialized cells which undergo meiosis. They are called as, those cells are called as meiocytes. We generally call them as gamete mother cells, which undergo meiosis and reduce the chromosome number to half. So at the end of the meiosis, only one set of chromosomes are incorporates into a gamete. So the gametes are haploid in nature. So here we have to discuss is whether the plant body is haploid or diploid. Irrespective of that, the gametes are haploid in nature. If the plant body is haploid, definitely the gametes, like no meiosis takes place, the gametes are haploid in nature. But in the case of diploid parent bodies, meiosis takes place during the formation of gametes. Meiosis is known as reduction division, where the chromosome number is reduced to half. So the gametes formed has only n number of chromosomes, that is called haploid. So always the gametes are haploid in nature. So this is called gametogenesis. So gametogenesis means what? The formation of gametes. So we have two types of gametes, male and female gametes. Formation of male gametes is known as spermatogenesis and formation of female gametes is known as oogenesis, right? So gametes are haploid in nature, right? So the second stage of pre-fertilization event is gamete transfer. See, they have to, see, after the formation of gametes, the gametes has to come close together in order to fusion, right? They have to brought together to facilitate the fusion. Then only zygote will be formed. So majority of sexually reproducing organisms, the male gametes are motile and the female gametes are stationary. There are exceptional cases where both the gametes are motile also. In few fungi and algae, both the gametes are motile. Simple plants like algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes, water is the medium through which gamete transfer takes place. So as water is the medium, the large number of male gametes will fall down to reach the female gametes. So in order to compensate, see, loss, all the gametes which are fall off cannot able to combine with the female gamete. So to compensate this loss, generally the male gametes are large in number, very large in number. So this is about in lower plants. In seed plants, pollen grains are known as the male gamete carriers and ovule has the egg. Pollen grains are produced in anthers, transfers the male gametes to the stigma. Self-fertilization, like we have bisexual flowers where the male and female reproductive structures are present on the same plant. In such plants, the transfer of pollen grains to the stigma for fertilization, the male gametes are carried away by the pollen grains. Pollen grain has to fall on the stigma to reach the egg or ovum, right? So this is very easy in case of bisexual flowers because the male and female reproductive structures are present very close to each other. Anthers and stigma are present on the same plant. Anthers contain pollen grains. Pollen grains should fall on the stigma. Both are present very close to each other. So it's very easy to transfer the pollen grains. But in the case of unisexual flowers, male and female reproductive structures are present on the different plants. So special like event takes place. A specialized event takes place for the transfer of pollen grains to the stigma from anthers to the stigma. That event we called it as pollination. That event we called it as pollination. So it's a special phenomena which is necessary to carry the male gametes to the egg or ovum. So how it takes place means, you know, anthers contain pollen grains. Pollen grains will carry the male gametes, right? So pollen grains first they fall on the stigma. From the anthers, pollen grains will fall on the stigma. Whenever they fall on the stigma, they germinate. So how can you say that they germinate? They form a pollen tube, right? So this pollen tube carries the male gametes to reach the ovule, right? See, this pollen tube reaches the ovule and discharge the male gametes near the egg or ovum. And this phenomena we called it as pollination. In case of unisexual flowers, for the transfer of male gametes, a special event occurs. That event we called it as pollination. What happens in a pollination? The pollen grains will fall on the stigma. Whenever they fall on the stigma, due to some chemicals present on the stigma, the pollen grain germinates and forms a pollen tube. This pollen tube reaches the ovule and discharge the male gametes near the egg or ova. So in case of animals, the male and female gametes are formed in different organisms. Like male gametes producing organisms are called as males and female gamete producing organisms are called females. Different individuals. A special mechanism is necessary for transfer of gametes. So this is about the events that occur during sexual reproduction. So this is the initial stage of sexual reproduction, that is pre-fertilization stage. Pre-fertilization stage. So for our convenience, the pre-fertilization stage is divided into two stages, that is gametogenesis and gamete transfer. So in the next class, we'll discuss about fertilization and post-fertilization changes. I hope you all like the video. Please like, share and subscribe Easy Science YouTube channel. Thank you.